morning. I'm sorry it's taking me so long to get back to my August ArtSnacks and SketchBox. I've been busy filling commissions from MechaCon in New Orleans in July and getting ready for KaiCon, which is here in Nashville in just a couple of days. So I've been pretty busy, but I appreciate how patient you guys have been, and I can't wait to share with you guys the rest of this month's installment. So today we're going to do the overview, and that includes going over prices for the materials inside both boxes. So we're going to start with the SketchBox. And we're going to dig everything out. Almost everything. Not the cat treats. And go through everything, price and demonstration wise. So we've got our Wolf's sketch set. You get 6 sketching pencils, a soft eraser, a carbon stick, a metal sharpener, and a tin case. The MSRP on the ArtSnacks card was $13. I found it for $12.95 on Dick Blick and $15.49 on Jerry's. So their quote of 13 was an excellent quote. Next up is the Tombow Mono Eraser. You guys have seen me use these in the studio all the time. I really like them. And it came with 2 refills. It's got a 2.3 millimeter tip. On the card, the MSRP is listed as $6.29. You can get them for $4.49 on Tombow's site and $4.07 on Dick Blick. Next is the Cretacolor Mega Graphite Pop Pencil. This was a little bit harder to find. I never found individual ones, and I couldn't get a comparison price. So $2.50 MSRP, and we have no strong contenders for that. Lastly, the 2 Cretacolor water-soluble graphite pencils in HB and 8B. And the listed MSRP is $2 each. You can get 3 of them for $5.86 on Jet. So our total MSRP is $25.79, and the lowest price found online is $23.94. This is still kind of low. Wait, no, that's actually good. I don't know what I'm saying, because you pay $25 for the basic box and then $5 for shipping. So 23 to 25 is actually excellent. I'm so sorry. Well done this month, SketchBox. Go ahead and get these out of the way, and we can move on to our ArtSnacks. So we have a Baggu small zip, and the listed MSRP on the card is $6.50 retail. It was $7 on the Baggu site, or $8 on JetPins. System 3 Cadmium Yellow Deep. This is a medium body acrylic for 2.5 fluid ounces. The listed MSRP is $6.50 retail. I found it for $2.71 on Dick Blick and $5.99 on Hobby Lobby. Our Simmons acrylic short-handled paintbrush. It's a 0 round, so very fine details. The listed MSRP is $5.99. At the time I did my research for these were such a new item that stores weren't carrying them yet. And a Copic Classic marker in ultramarine. The listed MSRP is $7.99. There's $7.99 on the Copic site, or $5.24 on Dick Blick. So now it's time for a little demonstration. And I've been holding off playing with these all month because I knew I didn't have time to do a proper demonstration. In fact, I'm making time right now. So the Baggu comes out of its packaging very easily. And this is a zipper pouch that expands to actually hold a fair amount of stuff. And on the card, they recommended having it hold this month's ArtSnacks goodies. Well, that's all ArtSnacks goodies. I think we even have room for maybe our SketchBox goodies this month as well. I think so. Yeah, it's a pretty sizable little bag. And my pencil case is actually a Baggu as well, I believe. Okay, so next we have the System 3 Cadmium Yellow. And I have to warn you guys, I am not by any stretch of the imagination an acrylic artist. I did acrylics in undergrad a little bit and I hated them. So this is just pretty cheap mixed media sketchbook. Nothing fancy. We get a pretty sizable tube if you enjoy painting at a reasonable size. My professor in undergrad had us painting 4-foot by 4-foot canvases we had to make ourselves. So this is a watercolor brush. This is not an acrylic brush. I'm going to clean this really well, but it is a synthetic. I don't really own a whole lot of acrylic brushes. And what would work for me is probably like acrylic glazing, because you can use acrylics very similar to watercolors. And I'll zoom in so you guys can get a closer look. My camera stand is also broken and has been broken since we put Sugru on it trying to fix it. Did not fix the foot. So if you guys have any recommendations for camera stands, I would love to hear them because we're looking for a replacement right now. The one we have was pretty cheap. But that was partially why I haven't really been able to progress. All right, and that's going to take a little while to dry. So what I'm going to do, I think, is just tear it out. Okay, you guys have seen me use Copic markers on my channel all the time. What I use is not Copic Original, not too much. I have one, now I have two. I mostly use Copic Sketch, and I have a few Copic Chow in there. Let's go ahead. Posting cap, that's nice. The other ones do not post. Let's go ahead and compare the three. And I'll zoom in for you guys in a moment. The new stand makes that a little difficult to do. I like to do it I used to like to do it physically because otherwise my head will get in the shot. So I have to do it digitally now. And that requires squaring things up all over again. So as you guys can see, the Copic Original has a chisel nib and a bullet nib as compared to the two super brush nibs, and that's what I prefer, is the super brush. Now you can, if you guys give me a minute, I'm grabbing the one other Copic original I own, and I'm not seeing it. You can replace the nibs. I think I have some spare ones in here. Yep. You can replace that bullet nib with a brush nib. And I'm going to do just that after I demonstrate it. Of course, the brush nib isn't as nice as the super brush nib that comes on the Copic Chow and the Copic Sketch. To be fair, that might just be my opinion. But I really, really like the Copic super brush, and I really don't like bullet nibs at all. There's just no flex. They are capable of fine points, but I like more gestural brush strokes. And then the chisel nib is just about the least used thing in my arsenal. So even though it did not come in my box, I'm going to go ahead and replace the nib with the spare nibs. And I think you replace the chisel nib, not the bullet nib. Oop, that was a waste. What is that for then? If not to replace the, I think it had like a metal tip. Let me see if I can find those. These are some replacement super brush nibs that I can't actually use. Here we go. I did have the wrong nib. The right replacement nib has this little metal bit on it. Took a little bit of fighting in time, but I got it. And I realized what this nib was for. This is a spare nib for Spectrum Noir. So we've got the replacement nib in. I'm going to store it this side down, but I want to put the sticker on it too to remind me. And I'm actually going to go soak this nib, which is full of beautiful blue color, in some rubbing alcohol. Try to capture some of that so I can make a spray ink out of it. Hey guys, quick tip. So if you have replaced any of your chisel nibs on any of your markers, be it Spectrum Noir or Copic, you can use 99% rubbing alcohol and a spray bottle to capture some of that ink. I'm going to leave it in for a while, let it soak in, let that ink reactivate. But that's a tip on how to get 50-cent alcohol ink if you've already got the chisel nib. Bye. Okay, so moving on, we're going to check back in. Oh, wow, that was quick. I was like, we're going to check back in when it's already hit the other side, but it already hit the other side. So this is the replacement nib. Not quite as nice as the super brush, not as large as the super brush, but still, in my opinion, better than relying on just a chisel nib and a bullet nib. So I think that's everything in the ArtSnacks let's move on to the Sketchbox. We've got this set of Wolf's graphite sketch set. Comes in this nice little tin. I look forward to checking out what the premium box got. I actually haven't looked yet. Haven't even opened this yet. And I haven't used a graphite set since undergrad, so it's been like 7 or 8 years. So we're gonna go ahead, dang it, making a mess. Gonna go ahead and swatch all these pencils starting with HB. And I'm just going to scoot that over. HB is the hardest lead in this set. These pencils feel a little bit like school grade pencils and not so much like artist grade pencils, but you know, I'm not really the one to ask, since I don't really use a lot of graphite. Wow, it seems like B was as soft or softer than 2B. Yeah, 4B feels harder than 2B as well, which is not right. There we go. 6B is nice and soft. And finally 8B. I do use graphite, especially the softer graphites like 6B and 8B for graphite transfers. And I think I demonstrated or did a tutorial on how to do those on the channel. If you are interested in learning how to do graphite transfers, it also comes with a little, it's not magnesium. It's like a knockoff of the Coom. Let me see if I can find one of them. The little metal handheld Coom sharpeners that I keep around the studio. Not seeing any though. The ones I have are made of magnesium, and this looks just like kind of like a cheap version of that. Can I get it to focus? Any day. There we go. On camera, you might not be able to see it, but it really looks like somebody chewed on it a little bit. Okay, next we have a graphite stick. I'm going to wash my hands after. No, carbon to charcoal. My mistake. Oh, it's going to leave a mess. I just realized I didn't go over the total MSRP for the ArtSnacks. Boy, I'm like really rusty today. So let me quickly do that. Total MSRP via the prices given the card is $26.98. Lowest price found online, lowest total found online is $20.94. ArtSnacks is $20 a month. That includes shipping. Okay, sorry about that. So back to the Wolf set. We have a sort of hard white vinyl eraser with a nondescript sleeve that doesn't want to pull off. Gonna have to move my phone. It wants to talk. And let's zoom in as much as I can without the camera falling down on me. It does a mediocre job of erasing the Wolf pencils. Oh, especially with the darker ones, a lot of ghosting. Let's see with the charcoal. It does. I mean, with charcoal, you're never going to get it back to perfect. I recommend using a gum eraser with charcoal, but it did okay for like an all-in-one sort of student set. Now, I'm not super familiar with wolves. And if you want to learn more about it, you need to check out natosoup.blogspot.com for the overall August review. I'm going to include much more product information over there. All right, so next we've got the Create a Color Mega Graphite. And it says 2 on it. It doesn't say like 2B or any of those other informative things. Is pretty standard for a pencil. Not a Cadillac, but also, not a clunker. And now we have the 2 Create a Color Graphite Aquarelle. Gee whiz. All right, that is the HB. Ooh, nice. That is the 8B. That would be why it's nice. And, oh, shoot. Dang, I'm like a hot mess today. I just found something else from the ArtSnacks that didn't get covered. Let me finish this. I'll get back to that. So we're going to take some water. Oh, look, it actually does a wash. I have the Derwent, the Graphitent pencils, and I was not all that impressed with their ability to wash out. So these are kind of refreshing because with enough just sort of gentle brush strokes, you can get it to blend out. So that's really cool. Now we need to let those dry so we can test how erasable they are. Finally, we've got the Combo Mono. This is the smaller tip. While I happen to enjoy both tips, the smaller tip's a little more frustrating to use because it is so small. These are pretty easy to fill and refill. Oh, it's already got one in. Heck yeah. All right. So technically it comes with 3 full-length erasers. I thought it came with 2, and I was still pretty pleased with that. But no, it comes with 3. So that's going in my erasers drawer. And let me see. Let's zoom in. As you can see, it's really good for fine details. Problem is, it'll start to bend and flip over and like snap off. Okay, so, sorry, that was my SketchBox Basic for August. We're going to take a little detour back on over to ArtSnacks because I neglected to talk about the Simmons acrylic short-handled paintbrush, and this is a 0 round. Let's pull out. Now, I don't really know why they're sending such a tiny acrylic paintbrush. This would be good for very fine details. It's a little stiffer than a brush that would be used for watercolors, so it could also be useful for gouache. Good for like lining a piece, maybe if you work in like a graphic or a pop sort of style. It's kind of small for like a larger application. So that's kind of a pity for this ArtSnacks because this ArtSnacks does feel a little disjointed. We've got some lovely products here, but they don't necessarily work very well to creating a finished piece. I mean, we've got our tube of acrylic. We've got a teeny acrylic paintbrush, great for micro paintings, not so great if you need to cover an area. What would have been nice is like a moderate size flat, like a 3/4 inch acrylic flat. And they may not have been able to send that to us because they may not have gotten any from Princeton. We received an alcohol marker, and we received a very cute hangable, useful little bag, but you can't paint with this, you can't draw with this. So this month's Art Snacks challenge is definitely going to be a challenge. This month's Sketchbox, regardless of how I feel about the materials, like I said, I'm not super hot on graphite. They are let me pull out again. They are a coherent whole. You know, I can see myself doing something with it, even if it is not the media of my choice. With the Art Snacks, they're just kind of all over the board. So I will see you guys soon when I do my SketchBox Basic Challenge and my Art Snacks Challenge for August. Bye, guys. Wait, I didn't even do my sign off. I am really out of practice. So, as rough as this video was, getting back on the horse, if you enjoyed it, if you found it useful, if you found it helpful, if you found it informative or inspiring, please do me a big favor and leave a like. Let other people know you found this video helpful. It helps me out with YouTube's analytics, puts me higher up in the poll. If you enjoyed this video and you want more like it, please subscribe to my channel. I do the Art Snacks versus Sketchbox comparisons monthly for all of 2016. There's a playlist you can check out where I have all the past videos. Some of them are a little bit controversial, apparently. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the social sharing buttons underneath this video and show your friends. You're helping me out immensely. You're introducing a new audience to my work, and you're helping your friends out because you're introducing them to a new art resource. And as artists, especially commercial artists, especially as comic artists, we got to help each other out because it is a tough industry out there. So I would really appreciate it if you just took a moment and did that for me. It would mean the world to me, honestly. The last way you can help out is financially. These videos are sometimes expensive to fund when we're replacing things like camera stands or buying new memory cards or buying large hard drives to store all of the videos on. It does add up in addition to the cost of the art supplies and my time. All artists, our time does have a value. So it's nice when you guys help me support this channel by visiting my Patreon and finding out how you can join the Natto Soup community. I don't have any sponsors. These videos are sponsored by my patrons and out of my own pocket through the generosity of my mother, Denise Hilburn, who did gift me the Art Snacks subscription for Christmas this year for the purposes of review. And, you know, my own sometimes very shallow pockets. I purchased the SketchBox Basic subscription and like 3 or 4 SketchBox Premium boxes earlier in this year out of my own pocket. So you joining the Patreon community helps me out a lot, and I really, really appreciate it. It means that I can continue putting out content like this. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope to see you soon in the Sketchbox Challenge and the Art Snacks Challenge. I'm Becca Hilburn from Natto Soup Studio. Have a great day, guys. Bye.